No, that's all set over there. Yeah, looks like we're live. Alright, what's going on, Forgotten Nation? I'm your host, FG, and today we have a bit of a retro treat. Just recently, we got our hands on with the SEGA Astro City Mini from, distributed by, Limited Run Games. Though the system itself really isn't much different compared to what was released in Japan. The only difference for this localization was the box. And, I suppose I could probably switch to the, big picture mode and show this off. I was experimenting with this for when I was doing VR, but I never really did much with it. Even the microphone still needs a bit of work. But I just want to show this off a little bit. This is the only difference with the arcade machine itself. The box. The box is fully localized, meaning that it's got all English text, and it's been essentially made for a US release. But the console, you could mistake it for the actual thing from Japan, because not much was done with the machine. Emulation, games, that's all the same from what was released in Japan, down to the same 37. And while some of these are recognizable here in the US, a lot of them too only were in Japan. But we'll get to that as we play just a little bit of it. I actually plan on doing a full video for my channel that I'm going to start working on Friday when I finish my work, and just before my summer classes begin. But that's besides the point. So for tonight's live stream, we're just going to play a couple of games, just really get some gauge on the system, and just to have a bit of a casual time. It's not going to be a long stream, probably just under regular time, but just to check out a couple, and definitely some that I recognize too. Like the first game we're going to check out is Flicky. I've actually covered this on my main channel, the Genesis version, but it did originate from the arcade. But let's not waste any more time, let's just start playing a bit. I don't have any of the accessories, so I can only play off what's baked into the system. And that means the very tiny buttons. I'm not gonna lie, it's a very small console, and even the buttons are pretty small in comparison too. So it's not a deal breaker, but I'm using something like the 8BitDo controller where it's just a little bigger. And there is an official version, Astro City arcade stick, but you can imagine why I don't have it on hand. Alright, let's not waste any more time. First game tonight is Flicky. For those that don't know, Flicky is a character from the Sonic series, but this was their first outing. But, honestly, I feel like the Genesis version is better than the arcade version. And part of that has to do with the game's sound engine. But to explain it better, let's show it off. Oh, by the way, we're going to be using the Astro City bezel. It makes more sense when I'm using it on the mini cabinet, because you have the black bars on the side, but because this is a standard LED, you kind of see the black and it blends in. It's not the best. It's not the best. Frankly, I think they should have stuck because of the game catalog with the 4x3 screen, but they chose a widescreen, probably to cut cost. That's my guess. But Flicky, this looks just like it came out of the Genesis version. I don't think it's going to show anything else. Nope, just gameplay. So let's start. Prepare your ears for the arcade version soundtrack. I don't know, maybe I'm a little biased, but just something about the Genesis' sound font that makes Flicky's theme just sound way better for the home console release. Maybe because it's higher pitched here than it is in the Genesis version. I don't know, it's the one time where I feel like the home console does it better. There's a couple other examples here too that we may see, but this is one game that definitely benefited off the Genesis hardware. And as far as conversions go from arcade games, it is flawless on the Genesis. And even the track here is actually different from the Genesis version. This version of the song doesn't appear in the Genesis version at all. Alright. I believe I missed 3 of them, but still pretty good. I know this game used to be way harder playing when I was little, so you kind of, oh wow, see that as you get a little bigger that it's really a simplistic game that anyone could pick up. And I guess that's what they were going for long ago, making Flicky. Though it's crazy to think that this character originated before Sonic the Hedgehog, and only then got relegated to a side character in the series. Alright, be careful. Chickies! Ah! So now we start to see difficulty because the longer the trail gets, it becomes easier for the cats to distract them. Ah! No, no! Ah! Whoa! Alright, let's get rid of the ones we have. Try to take this one out too, can we? Alright. Let's go back for the chickies. Come on, Mr. Sunglasses. There we go. Alright, we got this. So where does the door lead? More questions than answers, frankly speaking. Nice. Also, I don't think the gems actually appear in the Genesis version. I don't know, maybe it's like a small detail you don't see like on the CRT, but I've never really noticed that like the gems that drop. I don't know, I'd probably have to check that one again. So I know I want to revisit some arcade games on the main channel, but I don't think I'm going to replay the ones that I've already covered. So I know Flicky's definitely out. I did Alex Kidd the Lost Stars, which I wouldn't mind revisiting that one just to do it a little better than before. But I know I did Space Harrier a long time ago, but I pulled it from the channel because I wasn't happy with the final product. I definitely want to revisit that one. And that was actually based on the 32X version, which is still a really good part of the original arcade version. But no, honestly, it gives me a lot of options to make videos for again. Alright, we got one up there. Alright, here they come. Just 2 more at the 2 more at the top. Even the game control is really good. Like, I feel like it'd be more of a challenge if the character controlled more floaty, but that would probably ruin the experience because bad controls can make a game bad. But no, it's simply as good as it gets. It's a nice, simple arcade game. Anyone can pick it up and play it, and it gets harder as you go along. But actually, I forgot about the, what is that, iguana? I forgot about the iguana. Ah! Alright. Oh, I finally lost a life. Alright, we're gonna go just a little longer, and then we're gonna swap games. Ah! Careful, chickies! Chicky. Oh, guana. Ah! No! Alright, grab him, we gotta get out of here. There we go. Another difference between the Genesis version and the arcade version is that they actually have like a different opening screen for the title, where it shows like Flicky in like a backyard trying to like the chicks are tied to balloons. But I don't think there's ever any bonus stage that actually has that setup. Like you think that's gonna be something you get to do, but never. So I wonder what was the idea there? Just for like aesthetic or? Come on. Made it. Go for the stun. There we go. Alright, grab the bottle, get ready, and send it flying. Last two chickies. Alright, now I'm down to the last life, but this is going a little longer than I want it to, but, I don't know. Do I keep playing, or do I stop? It's the last life, let's just keep going. Ah, Guana. So yeah, that was Flicky. This is probably the very first game that ever released for the Astro City, because it's definitely the oldest of the collection they added. I believe it was 1984. But yeah, it's a classic. Yeah, 1984. Alright, we're gonna skip to My Hero. I want to show this one off. Personally, I think this is the weakest game of the bunch. But this is one where I feel like it's on the strange side. Like, I can't explain it myself. But alright. So you punch, you're able to kick if you go down, but one hit and you're down. You can even kick when you jump like that. So in some ways, you gotta wonder what's the point of punching. Ah, man, it's ruthless, it's unforgiving, and frankly, I don't know what sense to make of this one. It's a strange one, it really is. I want to see if I can get past the first level. See, this is something where I would like a little more context since it came out in Japan. It had to have been localized. It has to have been localized at least at one point. I feel like this is something you see at Takeshi's Challenge. Come on! What, do I gotta let him lure? I'm gonna lose the girlfriend then. And doesn't seem like there's a time limit at all. Ah! I mean, I feel like this is something just as zany you'd see from like a Japanese game. I mean, you hit them, they turn into angels. You have all this weird stuff going on. I feel like this is a game that's like lost in localization. Like, unless you like really localize it, like they did with like River City Ransom, it's what's happening? Ah! This got me more than 3 lives, isn't it? Ah! Alright. Ooh. Name select. See, I always wanted to do like the initials, because a lot of games use the initials instead of the full name. So it throws you off. Alright, full name. So through testing, they don't actually save the results unless you use the save state. So next time I restart the game, it's not even going to save the high score. And frankly, I don't feel like using a save state on this one. We're going to give it one more go. Even his derpy face when she gets stolen, just... what? And I can't say it's the best music either, like, I don't know, I'm not jamming to this. It's too out of place, I suppose. I don't know, it's got a charm to it. I'm sure someone probably likes this one, but for the American audience, I'm not feeling it. Ah! Oh! Alright, last chance. Ah! Yeah, this is a weird one. Alright, let's jump to the next game. Now here's a classic. So, here in America, we actually had, like, specialized cabinets for Space Harrier, where they even had, like motion seats, too. But, in Japan, another version was the Astro City. Because the Astro City really is just a single cabinet you can switch the games out of. So it made sense. And plus, that meant more people could play it, like, say, the main machine was, backed up. At least that's the impression I get. Because if I had the choice, I would go with the motion seat one. I know some people might be motion sick, but it's like the definitive experience. I've never actually gotten to play it personally. It's just, I haven't been to any arcades that have Space Harrier. I almost think I went to one that would have had it, the Galloping Ghost, but I got sick back in 2019 over spring break, and then one thing led to another, and then before you knew it, next year, the rest is history. There was just never a good time that I could find the excuse to go. And why not go over the summer? Why not any other stuff? Well, again, I just became busy, whether it was family or just on the side, or even just summer classes for that matter too. But no, I really wanted to go visit that arcade, but I just haven't had a chance or time. And with the state of the world now, even though things are starting to get better, it wouldn't be the same. I don't think it would be the same.
You're doing great.
So I want to give it a little more time before, but hopefully things start to look a little normal. Because I miss the classic arcades. And I still want Namco to port Namco Classic Collection Volume 2. No though, I'll mention this in the full video, but I feel like I should also say it here. If there's a way, I want to modify this machine to play the American versions of some of these games. Some of these games do have American localizations, but,
Get ready.
well, I don't think there's been any modification stuff happening in the backlog. Plus, I wouldn't mind having something out here like Sonic the Fighters if Virtual Fighter could support it. I don't know, at the very least, it's a way to play these games with the English text. That's all I'm asking for. Some of these games you kind of need the English text to play. But, in due time, But, if there's someone out there that's working to modify this machine to get some American versions, I'm all for it. Alright, next game. Alright, Fantasy Zone. Most people probably know this game because of either the Master System Fantasy Zone ports or because of Super Fantasy Zone for the Sega Genesis. Personally, I've only ever played this arcade version through Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection. And even though I have the Sega Genesis Mini, I never really played much of Super Fantasy Zone. Long ago, far away in space, there existed a fantasy zone where a courageous hero called Opa Opa, the player, fought in a valley at Another thing with some of these old arcade games is that the text moves way too fast, so you really can't gauge like the story or anything that's happening. But the current objective is to use our you avoid trying to say certain things on stream because it makes it look bad, but our weapons against the flying bases, I suppose, flower base, and go from there. Along the way, we collect some coins as we power up Opa Opa and go against the environment. In some ways, it's kind of like a cartoon version of Xevious. Oh! And like an arcade game, it's a one-hit KO. I never actually did beat Fantasy Zone, but I think this game actually has like different endings depending on how the player performs. Like I think there's like a bad ending, a good ending. I don't know. But I'm not the best at it. But I know some people really like this for the type of shooter it is. We're gonna start from the beginning. Fought in a valiant cause to rescue the Fantasy Zone from its enemies. But no, the game actually takes place on multiple planets, and the objective is to rescue the Fantasy Zone. So Opa Opa actually was considered for a time to be the mascot of Sega, along with Alex Kidd. And while I think Alex Kidd is the more recognizable mascot, I can see why some people also chose Opa Opa. Plus, Opa Opa's got some legs. But frankly, I don't think either of them had a chance up against Sonic the Hedgehog, especially when Mario entered the scene and changed gaming forever. Plus, there's just something more iconic about Mario's status and his overall like image that you can't find with a flying spaceship or a kid from another fantasy world. Alright, so here's some of the upgrades. Good amount of gold. Let's go with the big wings. And let's go with the jet engine. And then you can choose what you want, which... already using all the Earth stuff. No! Well, now it's just making me look bad. Don't worry, I got a button for that. Coin. Alright, we gotta hurry up and get some of these other guys. So the map will continue to loop indefinitely until you either run out of time in the game or, well, meet your demise. Plus, the enemies only get more and more difficult as they start to swarm the screen. Eventually, it becomes necessary that you need the upgrades. But if you die with what you have equipped, you lose the upgrade, like the jet engine we had. Alright, that's all of them. And then we got the boss that appears. Oh, the recoil. Like a boomerang. Alright, that's enough Fancy Zone for now. Alright, Wonder Boy. I believe the other name that people know this by on the other company side is Adventure Island. Yeah. Wonder Boy would, at least the name otherwise, would actually go through quite the transformation with further games down the line. Alright. So, Wonder Boy or Adventure Island? I don't know. I feel like both of them are fine. I really can't choose a side, frankly. I guess for its image, Adventure Island makes more sense. But, this was one of the first ways that the brand started the franchise. So, I don't know. I guess I have to go Wonder Boy. But when I think of Wonder Boy, I think like the other games, like Wonder Boy, the Monster's Trap. Like Adventure Island, I feel like it's like more concrete, but then I start to think like the other one is more like the other types of games. Just because like further games down the line. 3. But yeah, this is essentially just a, it's like a gauntlet that as you proceed forward, you have more obstacles, enemies that get in your way, and the idea is not to croak. But additionally, you have to keep moving and try to keep your stamina up top good, otherwise it results in a life lost. But no, this is like a fun one to play over and over again. It reminds me of another game that we'll see very soon. But, frankly, this is the better one of the two. Alright, let's go, Invincibility. This one's just more fun to pick up and play, whereas the other one is trying to be something it's not. But, I don't know, if you had to choose one or the other, this is the one to play. Ah, this one takes multiple hits. Not to mention the theme 2 is really good. Boing! Got him. Made it! That's the first stage. Skateboard. Ow! Splish. Game over. But no, Wonder Boy, it gets the retro seal of approval. This is a good one. This is one worth having on the collection. Alright, let's go. Ah, here's the other one. Alex Kidd The Lost Stars. Frankly, this is a good timing considering that Alex Kidd has come back into the limelight. But no, on a serious note, I'm actually really looking forward to the Miracle World remake. Not only does it capture the what made the original so great, but I just love the updated visual style and just how much more detail has gone into the new game. It's looking exciting, it really is. I didn't grab the collector's edition, even though I really would have loved the soundtrack. I just didn't feel like the other stuff with the collection was warranted, personally, for the price it was asking. That's just me, personally. It looks like, though, that the physical edition will still be around, so I'm hoping to pick that up day one. Maybe for PS5. And you know I want to cover it. Maybe not a full playthrough, but at least a gameplay session. But let's talk about the Lost Stars. So, I said this before in the first video, but this is essentially Death Run. The idea is to go through the stage, trying not to get hit, and avoiding all the obstacles. If it's anything like Wonder Boy, there's just one problem here. The characters don't match the aesthetic. When I'm looking at this, I am not thinking Alex Kidd. This doesn't remind me of Miracle World or any other Alex Kidd games. And that's probably one of the reasons why not a lot of people like this one. But I don't mind the gameplay, personally. I feel like this is still a good game on its own right. And I think it would probably get more love if it wasn't Alex Kidd. And plus, it introduces Stella. I don't know, I like Stella as the side character. Maybe that's just my thoughts, but I could do with more of it. I'd like a bonus mode in the Miracle World remake that has like a Stella as like a P2 or like a unlockable bonus. I can't be the only one, can I? Plus, I've seen like the panels from the Archie comics from Sonic Archie, back when that was still a thing, where they had Alex Kidd in the comic at one point, and I thought it looked really good, and I love the aesthetic. It's like the perfect complement to Alex Kidd Stella. I know one of the other Master System games had like a different girlfriend, but I have to go with Stella on this one. Alright, we're actually doing pretty good. Oh, what am I saying? This is like the best I've done in a long time. And I say it too soon. But yeah, this is made to be a quarter muncher, so you're gonna lose, and lose, and lose. But the good thing about the Astro City Mini is that it doesn't take any quarters. But another gripe I have with it is actually something that could have been avoided, but didn't happen. It's the style kits. At least when it came to the localization efforts, there just wasn't enough to go by. There was more arcade cabinets than there were style kits. And the one thing in that style kit, besides the plastic seat and the marquee edition, was the bottom base to the Astro City. Because, frankly, what I have on hand here is just the upper half of the arcade cabinet. The style kit actually adds like a bottom bank that makes it look more like the actual thing. Plus, it stores your quarters. That's like an extra bonus, frankly. But, no, I really wanted that style kit just to have that aesthetic to make it look more like the actual thing. And plus, just to give it some more heft to it, too. Just up the size of it, give it a weighted base on the bottom. It's not bad as is right now, but compared to, like, other things, it's pretty fragile, frankly. And I still look at like it's little tiny buttons. It's a really tiny system. Alright. Yeah, again, I really do like the Lost Stars, but I know why people don't like it. I think it's better than the Master System version. Not that I've tried it, I've only seen gameplay clips online when I was doing the research for the original YouTube video. But, I can't hate it. I just, it may not be Alex Kidd, but I just really like this one. It's just another quick one you can come back to and try again and again. I think it's probably even better with 2 players, but, again, America, no access to the other controllers. And that's another gripe too, you actually can't even use other controllers with it. The back of the system is USB, but for some reason the software only detects official Astro City controllers. So like say the IPDU that I mentioned earlier, can't use it. I tried. Maybe there's a firmware update that might fix that problem, but as far as I know and as far as I read, nope. Whatever protocol they have in the system only lets you use SEGA Astro City controllers. And that really sucks. Alright, next game, Alien Syndrome. Frankly, I'm sure this has been said by others before, but This should have just been Alien. Frank, this game, your mission, your comrades have been captured by aliens. I'm not gonna say what that first round spaceship looks like, but I really do think that this game should have been a tie-in with the Alien franchise. And I don't think there was other aliens in the movie. I know it's just like the alien, the iconic one. But you're going with this aesthetic, you're going with this type of gameplay. I really do think this is, well, would have been a tie-in with the Alien movie. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I could be completely off the mark here, but I gotta do some research first about this one. But I would like to think that it was supposed to be Alien. And wow, I did horrible. Alright, back in the fray. You're probably thinking, why go with the girl? Well, that option doesn't matter. And frankly, you're pretty sick thinking about that question. But no. Maybe it's my inexperience, but I'd call this a quarter burner. I think this was another game that was featured on the Ultimate Genesis Collection, but I never really played it. I maybe probably tried it once, but that was it. Or I may have never even unlocked it. But I'm pretty sure this was another game that was included. It's simple. You just try to survive. You gotta hurry up and save your allies before the ship explodes to get rid of the alien parasites. And then you get upgrades like the flamethrower. It's straightforward. It's fun. But it definitely picks up difficulty later on. Then I just suck. I really suck at this one. I'll get better in time. And thankfully there is time. I'm in no hurry. Alright, I feel like this is gonna be one of those games where you need to understand the text. Remember Wonder Boy? Well, after one series became the Adventure Island series, this is what happened with the other one. Wonder Boy in Monsterland. And this plays, frankly, more like an RPG. It still has that Adventure Island aesthetic to it, but the game itself plays more like an RPG. It has RPG elements, it has RPG dynamics, but the big problem here is Japanese text. And that means I have no idea what's going on. But we got a sword, we got some common enemies, and yeah, it's an RPG in arcade form. I believe if the timer on the bottom right expires, we actually do lose some health, and then like the timer resets. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. This is another quarter burner just because of having stuff like a time limit. Frankly, I don't think this is the kind of game that would have benefited from being an arcade game. This is one that would play better. Oh, this guy's trying to kill me. Can I not kill him? No, I can kill him. It's a boss fight. There we go. I'll take it. But no, it's an RPG made for arcades. It's probably not the first of its kind, but it's definitely one of the more unique ones. And obvious reasons, I'm pretty sure this never came out in America. But one game that did get released for the Master System and did get a remake is definitely worth checking out if you have time. Wonder Boy: The Monster's Trap. And I know there's like a spiritual successor to the series later on following that remake, but if you have to check out any of the games in the series, The Monster's Trap's the one to check out. And the remake does a glorious job of giving a new coat of paint, per se. It's the same treatment that we'll see soon with the Alex Kidd remake. Oh. looking good. Cool! Yeah! Wait, aw, come on, no, I want to take him out. I feel like getting through this game is possible not knowing Japanese, but I feel like there'd definitely be some sort of benefit if I knew what this text was telling me and whether it was important. Like, come on, that looks like it should be important. Knock, knock. Oh, come on, what is this, like, man-child bat? Oh, that's the end of it. Game over. What? Probably says insert recorder. Yeah, insert recorder. But, yeah, Wonder Boy in Monsterland. Hope I said that right. I can't read the Japanese there. Yep, Wonder Boy in Monsterland. So, as we know, Adventure Island, Wonder Boy, and this was the title that would change the series moving forward. But up next, do you like ninjas? I like ninjas. It's not Ninja Gaiden, but it's still a really good one. This is Shinobi. I'm sure most probably know the Genesis version, but Shinobi is another popular arcade game that was released by SEGA. And I'm pretty sure this one was localized too, but of course, it is the Japanese version. So I'm not going to be able to understand any of the text that's happening here. But we got weapons, we're a ninja, and the way we jump up and down was said to have later inspired a Namco game called Rolling Thunder. I don't know if I mentioned this in the original video I did for Rolling Thunder, but yeah, this one predates Rolling Thunder. So going up and down was said to have inspired that aspect of the gameplay. But we need to save the other person in order to move on. If I'm being honest, I've only ever played a little bit of this through the Ultimate Genesis collection. This was one that never really caught my eye personally, so I never played a whole lot of it. But now that we saved the hostages, I suppose, we can go on to the next stage. But no, I have no complaints about this one. This is just another good one. Oh, he means business. Alright, let's go. And then, of course, we got specials they can use. Ah, and like any arcade game, it's a one-hit KO. Thankfully, though, unlike Rolling Thunder, we actually have unlimited ammunition. But the specials, we do need to pick up as we go. Oh, I'm gonna get shot in the head, aren't I? Nope. Unlimited throwing. Ah, bullet. Oh! Alright. But, no, Shinobi. This is still another good one. Even though I haven't played a whole lot of it, I still do believe that this is another one of Sega's greatest. Plus, it made it onto the Ultimate Genesis collection, so that's gotta count for something, right? Alright. Love it, hate it. This is a game that was packed in with the Sega Genesis. If you're playing the arcade version, I feel like this is the best way to play the game. At least, that was my experience playing the Genesis version on the Ultimate Genesis collection, and then playing the arcade version, unlocking it thereafter.
Rise from your grave.
Because, I mean, for starters, you have the extra effects. Things that just the Genesis couldn't handle, like the way that they splatter across the screen moving forward.
Power up.
The music is toned down, so some music does sound better. And plus you can understand text like when the Zeus comes and says, "Rise from your grave," instead of "Rise from your grave." Because that's meme status at this point.
Power up.
But no, personally I just feel like that the arcade version is the better version of the game. It has more to it. Oh! Alright, we needed that blue-white wolf in order to evolve one step further. Because now we're going to be in a loop that we need to do again. Because we need one more wolf. But no, this is actually a really simplistic game, but it's still something that anyone can pick up and play. And because this is the arcade version, that means you have unlimited continues. You can only continue like once or twice in the Genesis version, but after that, you have to start all the way from the beginning. At least here, you're not bound by anything except for the quarters that you put in. So you could see this game through to the end. Is it worth it? That's up to the player, personally, but I still think it's worth checking out. Got it. Alright, we have engaged in wolf mode. So one of the big things that they wanted in this game was the transformations, down to the very aesthetic that they use in the attract mode, where it actually shows like him transforming with like a zoom in of his face. And that was meant to like pump up the player, I suppose. Especially like grab their attention of just how powerful he gets. Alright, here comes the boss.
Welcome to your doom.
Yeah, two things with this game. There's weird enemies, and there's even weirder bosses. Frankly though, although you take a lot of hits, I don't think this is a horrible game in terms of difficulty.
Never give
Like,
up.
I can think of like way harder fighting games compared to Altered Beast. Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, just to name a couple. I feel like this is one like anyone can like start off with and then go from there. But like I said, because this is the arcade version, it's more accessible because there's no barrier if you're doing horrible like me. And again, just the music sounds way better in the arcade version. Alright, so moving forward, remember this game, and more specifically, remember some of the aesthetics and the people behind it. Because we're going to see an air game very soon, before we call it a night, of course, because we're not going to be on here much longer. But this isn't like their only contribution to Sega's arcade line. But we're going to be seeing one very soon that I've actually already named once. Yeah. Alright, we're gonna upgrade one more enemy, and then, well, I guess, power up, not an enemy. Oh! And then we'll swap games. But, no, the game gets harder as you move forward, so I feel like it's somewhat balanced for the most part. Give or take the last two levels, my thoughts. Oh!
Power up.
Alright, we need one more. Can we get one more? Alright, it should be here. No, no, no! Ah! Alright, alright. I don't want to waste any more time, so we're going to jump to the next game. Alright, Wonder Boy 3, The Monster's Lair. Basically, you have all Wonder Boy games on here, but for the sake of time, we're going to skip that one. And we're going to move down to Golden Axe. Alright, so I don't think this game needs an introduction. This is another one I actually played on the channel. I played the Genesis version, of course. But, it's subjective. Some people like the arcade version, some people prefer the Genesis version. But, I don't know, I feel like that, again, like, the previous game, the Genesis version's just fine. It works well. There are some things, though, that you only get from the arcade version, like this opening cutscene. Even though the text is really fast. Like, in the Genesis version, that's only like a brief text, like, explaining what happened. But here, we see it fully play out. And yeah, it's pretty sad. He bleeds out to death. It's just not good. Ah! But, yeah, just like Altered Beast, because it's the arcade version, you're not bound by continues, and you can see it to the very end. And frankly, for someone like me, that makes all the difference. And also, instead of them fading away when you kill them, they turn to stone. Unless it's just like a stylistic effect showing that the blood has left the system or something. It just adds a little more flair to the game. So actually, I know Arcade 1-Up actually did a Golden Axe arcade cabinet. So you could be playing the arcade version and not need the SEGA Astro City Mini. And again, as was the case in America, we had like dedicated cabinets for some of this stuff, and Golden Axe was one of them. Actually, I believe there was 2 of them, unless, well, actually, I don't know about the sequel. I don't know if we ever did actually get the sequel in arcades. Take him out. Alright, so we go for the imps, gnome, goblins, call them imps. To fill up the magic meter, every character's different, but the one we're using here is the most versatile with the magic. And since he's able to crank it up all the way to 4, but still have that balance with the lower abilities, it just leaves a little more to be offered. Other characters don't like the Valkyrie, you need more vials to use her powers. Or there's a gnome that you don't need as much, but his is much weaker in comparison. Alright, couple more hits, and then, yep, here comes the big guys. We're going to use our magic. Flashy. But no, like I said, I feel like the Genesis version's just as good. Oh. Get clubbed. Alright, we'll continue to finish this battle here, and then we'll move on to the next game. Take him out. Sworn enemy Death Adder's in his castle. We'll take a shortcut through the Turtle Village. I love like the map music that plays here. But alright, Golden Axe. Again, a game with no introduction. Frankly, the arcade version is just as great as the Genesis version, and it's definitely worth trying. Alright. Alien Storm. For the sake of time, we're gonna skip Alien Storm. I would play Bonanza Brothers, but again, time, I don't think it's worth checking out. It's basically the same thing as the Genesis version, just a little better. A little better. Columns, do I really want to torture myself? No. Thunder Force, good one too. Let's do Red Mobile. Alright, so this is, canonically speaking, the the first game that ever featured Sonic the Hedgehog, but he was featured as a cameo. So it was at this time that they already had come up with the conception of what would become the next SEGA mascot. But little did the time they know that it would be the definitive mascot for SEGA. But yeah, there he is up there, just dangling. That's Sonic. And the world would never know what it was until then. But speaking about Rad Mobile, this ain't your typical Outrun, but it's still a great car racing game. Essentially, you're trying to go against the clock and your rivals and proceed forward through this first-person car view. But the further you go, you also have other stuff like the real environments and other cars from the oncoming traffic you gotta avoid. It's a difficult game, it really is. But I feel like this is something that it's always the same stage. So there's not a lot of versatility to it per se, but in some ways, like, it's something that you become nostalgic over and you pick up and play again and again. Like, if I had to choose between games, oh yeah, we got decimated. Alright, back in the fray. But yeah, this really does show the dangers of driving. But as I was going, if I had to choose a racing game, Outrun first and center, because it just has the alternate routes you can take going through the game. So if you want that extra challenge, you go for one of the different routes. Sure, it's got that like familiarity to it, like this one, where you play it once, you play it 1,000 times, but everything else just carries with it, such as the aesthetic, the music especially for Outrun. Like this, with the engine humming and the music in the back, frankly, it kind of feels a bit generic. Just saying, just saying. But no, frankly, this is one that pushes the arcade hardware to its limits, and frankly, it's just another good racing game. One of the best? Subjective, but still one definitely worth checking out. Wow! Wow! I believe, though, that the whole like concept of the game is to go across the United States. Oh, we are dead. But no, this game really does leave like little room for error. And at the same time, you're also competing for first place, so you do need to get to the very front. Frankly, I'm actually surprised this wasn't a game that they included in the arcade one-up Outrun. I feel like this could have been a good one to add too. Alright, don't forget what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But also this game has a front light system as well as some wipers. What they do in the game, frankly, not a whole lot. They're just there for aesthetic, but I just love that the game has some like immersion to it. Alright, I don't think I'm gonna make it. Nope, I made it. Alright, get ready, that clock's gonna start again. Let's go. Oh! Watch out for the police. I actually didn't even know about the police. Alright, I think this is gonna be where the game ends. But no, Sega really does do some good racing games. Outrun's definitely their highlight, but then further on following this, because this isn't fully 3D, but it does have that scaling effect that makes it look like it's 3D. But Daytona is another great one that they did. But yeah. Wow. Alright, for the sake of time, we're going to stop here. So we're almost down with the end of the collection, and frankly, there's still a lot more I would like to check out, but again, I do want to save this for individual videos on YouTube. So, yeah, there's still plenty that's worth checking out. So we're going to do 2 more games. The first one, yeah, why not? I know the sequel's better in most people's eyes, but it still has that novelty here. Puyo Puyo. The puzzle game that everyone knows now because it has Tetris mixed into it. No, while this technically isn't the first Puyo Puyo, this is still the first Puyo Puyo. This is the first one that made it to the arcades, and the first one that really had like a widespread gameplay that people would compete against each other and just show off in the arcades. The sequel was well more suited for multiplayer, as well as just small quality of life improvements. But no, this is all started here. And again, most people will know it better for the Sega Genesis version. As we know it here in the West, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. But this was the start of Arlen Carbuncle's adventure, and this is one of the first widespread appeals of the Puyo Puyo series. So I love the characters and the world building of the Puyo Puyo series, but if I'm being honest, I don't think I ever would have picked it up had it not been for the Tetris integration with some of the later games as of recent. And yes, that means Puyo Puyo Tetris. I actually haven't picked up the sequel yet because I didn't have money at the time, and now that it's kind of gone by, I know it's one of those things where it's like people stop playing after a while, but I don't know, I still wonder if I should pick up and try it myself. It's not too late personally, but I just know there's other games coming out, and whether to save the money, because I'm not going to have my job soon, the internship ends, I got school starting soon. I know I pocketed some money on the side, but a good majority is going to go back to paying off the student loans. But I don't know. I guess that's something to keep on the wish list. Due time. I still feel like the first one's just as good though. But all right, Puyo Puyo. Alright, so we're going to play one more game here, and then we're going to turn it off for the night. And this is one that got a lot of people excited for the Astro City Mini, especially considering that we really haven't gotten this game much in the official ports as of more recent. Virtua Fighter. This is the first 3D fighting game. It's a fighting game where the characters are full polygons. Oh man, all I hear is the get down from Stardust Speedway. Alright, so like any fighting game, you have different characters. Each character has like different abilities. But what the game doesn't tell me is how to use these abilities. I kid you not, there's no instruction manual or anything that came with the Astro City Mini that could have said like how some of these games, like a fighting game especially, operates. I have no idea how to play Virtua Fighter, and I never played Virtua Fighter until now. The only thing similar to Virtua Fighter is Sonic the Fighters, which runs off the Virtua engine, the Virtua Fighter engine. So, yeah, going in blind here. You only have 3 buttons. You can punch, you can kick, and you can guard. It's not like other fighting games where you have multiple sets of buttons that vary in different like power. So I guess there is some simplicity there, but as with any fighting game, you have different directions to pull off the different combos. And I think I just found one there. This ain't looking good. So, yeah, Total Noob plays Virtual Fighter. This is what I'm gonna have to study on if I show it off for YouTube. But, no, it's still aged pretty well, give or take the polygons. But, there's a nostalgia to it. Overall, I feel like the aesthetic is still here and it still works. But, I know it's not for everyone, but, no, as far as fighting games, it's no Street Fighter 2, I'll give it that much, but it still plays and looks incredibly well. I can't speak for the quality of the Astro City version because it's still a mini console. It's a mini game console that's made to emulate the system. And the arcade, especially something like Virtua Fighter, does still take a considerable amount of processing power. And I don't think we've come that far with mini machines, but ever since Nintendo, I do think it's gotten better. I really do think so. But just playing based on the Astro City version here, I do think it works well. And again, this is like one of the first HD ports of Virtua Fighter probably ever, frankly. And it works surprisingly well. I'm sure there will probably be some like videos like showing, oh no, this is moving 2 frames slower than this and this specific action movement. But just playing the game for what it is, I feel like it works well. And we're going to stop here with the Astro City Mini. This is just a stream to show off some of the games, as well as just discuss and play but casually. To finish it off, we're going to take a look at this. This is Dotori-kun. So, I actually heard about this in a video that to sell Astro City, SEGA actually had to legally put in a game with it. Because if they didn't, then I guess that didn't mean like something about like selling it, like litigation. So they were legally required to put a game in the system. Now the Astro City Mini, with all these games, you would swap the PCB board with the different game. So it's like a one cabinet of all trades kind of deal. But it didn't have any game with it, or even bundled for that matter, when they were selling these cabinets to different vendors. So this is the game that they made, specifically baked into the system, or I guess included, because they had to. It's a simple Pac-Man clone, where you go around this small little maze as a triangle, avoiding the checkered X, trying to gobble up all the dots. Is it shameless? Maybe. Is it even worth playing? Probably not. But it's another significant piece to the Astro City history. And it's the fact that they needed to have this in order to even give these cabinets to different Japanese arcade vendors. It's just a little fun little tidbit, a little fun fact. It doesn't have any music. It's only got 2 colors. But this was the true nature of the SEGA Astro City. It was a one machine of many different trades, and this was what was included. Now, of course, it wouldn't be a game unless it picked up in difficulty, and there we go. And just like that, the game ends. So, that's going to do it here for tonight's live stream. Will we play more of the Astro City Mini moving forward? Due time. If you all want to see me play more of this, the best way, of course, is to let me know, whether you're watching live or in the archives. I mentioned back on YouTube way earlier in the year that I want to revisit some arcade games for the channel, and this is going to be the start. So here's a small little taste of what to expect as we get back into some gameplay sessions, now that things are finally looking open on my calendar. And as far as future-proofing, I'll probably explain that at a later time. But no, it's just a fun little chance to show off something cool I got, and just to play a bit more arcade games. And it's nice to be playing something for a change that's not like Atari, Namco, Capcom. Because really, accessibility for SEGA arcade games is actually really limited. At least here in America, anyways. But no, it's a fun little change of pace. So, once again, whether you're watching live from the archives, thank you so much for watching. And as always, I'll see you in the next stream. But stay tuned as we give a more hands-on review of the Astro City Mini and what I think about it. But more importantly, we're going to get back into some arcade games starting soon. So stay tuned, everyone.